I'm Lisa.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Craig.
Yes, raising the federal minimum wage sounds like a good idea, and I know many of you, especially teenagers, will say, yeah, I will just get paid more if they raise the federal minimum wage. But in all reality, if the United States government were to raise the minimum wage, it would more than likely hurt our country instead of help it. Raising the minimum wage is not the solution to helping many in our country. Many people actually overlook all the negative impacts that it can have on us. There are plenty of other solutions instead of raising it, and many of these solutions are easy fixes. The United States government should not raise the federal minimum wage and put together these better solutions to help others. One solution to raising the minimum wage is to increase the Earned Income Tax Credit. This is a widely proposed alternative to raising the minimum wage. It is otherwise known as the EITC. This federal program benefits middle and low-income households across the United States. According to the IRS website, the maximum amount that a family could receive annually through this program is currently around $6,000. In doing this, raising the Earned Income Tax Credit, many say that it would more effectively aid low-income families than raising the federal minimum wage would, since most of the minimum wage earners are actually teens living in the middle-class households. Companies hosting training programs would also help with not raising the minimum wage, become better in that field that they are working in. A criticism of raising the minimum wage is that if the pay rate of low-skilled and entry-level jobs is too high, workers don't have an incentive to leave these jobs for better communities that pay higher wages. For low-skilled workers with entry-level jobs, it is difficult to acquire the skills necessary to succeed and thrive if there is little or no incentive to do so at all. By offering these workers training, they would increase the employer's skills, which would in turn make them more valuable to their current employer as well as their other employers in their market. Another solution is that the United States government should reduce tax for local small businesses. By raising the federal minimum wage, it is hurting our local small businesses. They may find it harder to pay for minimum wage employees and would have to cut back on hiring and cut back on their current employees, which is not a good thing. By lowering taxes for small businesses and entrepreneurs, the U.S. economy can be strengthened by creating the incentive and ability for employers to create more jobs and hire more employees. This will help to counteract the significant job losses that would most likely occur if the federal minimum wage were to be increased. Our local businesses are how our communities thrive. If these were to cut back on employees, then that could possibly mean they may even have to shut down. I, for one, would not want that to happen. Just a simple tax reduction for the small businesses would do a whole lot more than raising the minimum wage itself. Increasing the child tax credit would also be another solution instead of raising the minimum wage. Households with children benefit from the Internal Revenue Service's child tax credit program. Many in favor of raising the child tax credit say that, unlike raising the minimum wage, this strategy would directly benefit low-income families with children. This burden lies with the federal government, though, and not with the businesses who say they would struggle if the minimum wage was raised. Current child tax credit for low-income families who qualify is up to $1,000 per qualifying child. Simply raising the child tax credit would do a lot more for low-income families than actually raising the federal minimum wage would. So in concluding, increasing the earned income tax, hosting training programs, reducing tax for businesses, and increasing child tax credit are all great solutions to not raising the minimum wage. Most of the solutions out there, instead of raising the minimum wage, are based on our government tax system right now. But these are great solutions to a fix that does not need to happen. Any of these solutions would be better than raising the federal minimum wage. Something needed other than raising the minimum wage, though, needs to happen. The United States government should not raise the federal minimum wage and put together these better solutions to help others. Thank you for listening.